All right, go ahead and take a seat, big guy.
We made it.
Oh, we made it. All right. We did a video a long time ago.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting this all done a little bit later than we expected, but we're glad we're here, right?
Oh yeah.
I think that after we're done here, I'm gonna have you speak to the fact that, like, the whole temps, how at the end they break easier and easier, right?
Oh yeah.
That's one thing. That was one of the hardest things for you is that, you know, once they start breaking, it's like it goes downhill quickly. So, okay, so usually I have another patient family here to show, and so right now I think you're the main one. Going back to your surgery all that time ago, what were the things that you can remember? Like, was it more painful, less painful? Tell me about your experience as far as the day of surgery.
It wasn't anything. I mean, it don't hurt. It was a little uncomfortable with the swelling and stuff afterwards. But,
yeah, I remember you did swell more than the average person.
But the overall experience is just like, it's nothing. I mean, it was so easy. I think the hardest part was sleeping in the chair.
Yeah, keeping your head elevated. Up. Okay, well, all right. Well, all that hard work, I want to show where we started from. This is where we came from, yep. Right? These are the teeth that came from. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to pull you up nice and close to the mirror here. Okay. All right. Okay, so go ahead and let's see your smile for the first time. This way.
Ready? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You said you wanted Hollywood, right?
Yeah. You got Hollywood.
I think so. Yeah. Big difference.
It is a really big difference, right? Yeah. Temps, you can only go so far. Oh. And, you know, even the most beautiful temps, you can't put in the
even them, they were tough as nails. They were.
Yeah.
But.
Do you like the shade?
I do.
Good.
Yeah. And I definitely, when we bring up more teeth, more smile before like that, no lower.
Yeah. I mean, when you had all those teeth in the back missing, you see how your chin moves forward. Makes you look so much older, you know?
Definitely.
And so it's a big difference.
I've been proud of them ever since. I didn't even have no problem until people were always asking, how do you get them so white? I'm like, they're not mine.
Make good money.
I left it up to you. You did it. You hit it. From day one, we're going to hit it out of the park. I think we did.
Well, last time you came in, we sat down and actually you were next to me in the computer, right? And we were actually adjusting them. And I was like sleep deprived and I was trying to talk and design at the same time. You're like, I could tell you were like dead.
Oh yeah.
And I really was, but
you was. And then you're like, I'm going to be on this for like 4 hours.
And
it shows.
Yeah.
It really does.
Harrison did a great job. He actually spent a lot of time, and your teeth broke, and you actually were expected to get these in a couple of weeks, but we tried to get them quicker because we didn't want to have you break them anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times we broke them.
4 more than we want, that's for sure. So let's look up here. This is your side by sides, so we can show you kind of the transformation. So Felipe, do you want to do it? Okay, so there's your before, after, okay, side by side. Totally completely changes you.
Yeah.
Completely changes you. There's your surgery there. And we took that today. So that's a panoramic x-ray of today. And I'm really happy with that because you see, look at where the bone's at in relation to, if anything, you have actually grown some bone up on your upper teeth, your upper implants in the back. There's actually bone higher than the implant. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm really happy with that. But that's where we want to keep it. If we can keep the bone at the same level it is right there, that's success, you know? And so it goes back to, you can't disappear.
All I said, He's gonna get sick of me.
Well, at the end of the day, it's sometimes our temps, people like them so much that, and life happens that people stay in them longer, and that's kind of what happened with you. Is, you're in them longer. And then when you finally called, and it was like, okay, I'm ready to get moving forward. We were excited because every day after 4 to 6 months, the temps become more of a liability.
When the pandemic hit and all that stuff, and then being out of town and everything else, and then everything was changing around here. And I was over the moon when I got back.
Yeah.
And was able to finish. I've been waiting for this finish. I mean, the temporaries were good. You got compliments and all that stuff, but this is like the ultimate goal for it all.
That the color is great and it makes your hair pop.
Yeah.
I know, that's
Told you, man.
So, do you? Well, let's just be honest here. Are you dating anyone?
no.
All right, girls.
That's why I'm here alone with this.
Dave is available.
This is my family now.
That's right. Well, you know what? Like last time you were here, we just love the fact that you're such a positive influence on us. I also appreciate the conversations we've had, just me and you, about kind of the crap that goes on in our lives, where it's just hard. And I appreciate your feedback on like all the transformations. Like our office has gone through a lot too, and so.
I do know one thing though. I did go after the surgery. I went back to the doctor because I told you I had concerns with my heart. That's what got me here. It wasn't actually my smile or anything like a lot of people show up. It was my health, overall health. I got a clean bill of health.
Nice.
100%. All problems that I had before, gone.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's what started this journey, and I actually took care of both of it on the same thing, and that was, I feel 100% better than I did. I mean, getting them out, getting the poison out and everything like that. I have way more energy, way more everything. The doctor was amazed because it happened quick too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a long-term thing. So I was just like, overall, I mean, I pretty much saved my life probably in the long run. And gave a smile, but.
And now you're going to be, girls will be knocking on the door to get into.
Hopefully.
You should put
Like I say.
phone number up and
I'll be.
smile reveal.
Yeah, right.
I'll just sit home by myself and stare in the mirror. But yeah, I like it.
But what I love about you, and this is the honest truth, I always speak from the heart, and that is that you're like me, you wear your heart on your sleeve. And that's why we kind of got along. Like, I've been very honest the whole time through. Like, I've never said that I'm perfect. My commitment is that we will always get there. It's communicating back. So we did one try-in, or did we do two try-ins? No, we did two, because one was one of my designers, like, it was like so far off, it was crazy. And then I personally, I walked in, I could see your eyes, and they're just like, oh my gosh.
I was kind of like, fix my broken temps, put them in my mouth, I gotta go home. And you came in and you promised we're gonna hit it out of the park like day one.
And it's hard because designing is the one part that historically we've had to send out. And your case was actually the beginning of when I was like, okay, I'm not going to send any more designs. I'm just going to sit down, take the time. And so I thank you for making me do that, because of our relationship, I did not want to let you down. And so that prompted this journey for me is getting into it and making sure the design was perfect. And so it took me a long time to get there, but I appreciate that. Something that probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you. So do you have questions at all about where we go from here? I think
No, I mean,
what would you say to people out there? Because a lot of this, when we first started, the good, the bad, the ugly, like, I think people like you because they can tell you're honest. The journey was longer. Was it worth it? Was it, at the end of the day, what advice would you give people?
I'd say it was definitely worth it. I don't know. The whole thing was really easier. It's not as scary and as easy and dramatic as everybody makes it out to be. Like when you watch it on YouTube and stuff, it just seems way more than it really is. It's just everything flows so easily and everything like that. It doesn't. I don't know. I think everybody makes it into something that it really isn't. I mean, to me, it was like an everyday. It was like just going to the dentist. I mean, if anything, all the years and all the money I spent on a regular dentist was scarier, more hurt and more pain than this. I mean, this was nothing really.
Yep.
I mean, I would do it. I'd do it again. I never thought I'd be here anyway. You know, I never thought I'd have to pull my teeth and whatever and stuff. And then I'm glad when we talked and we decided to do all this filming and stuff, I felt compelled to do that because I know a lot of people that want to do this but are scared to do it.
Well, and I think that's the great part is my hope is that we can actually continue, 6-month follow-up. We'll go live again and just say, this is how my experience with my new teeth.
I already promised these guys are going to get sick of me. I'll probably be the one coming and going, hey, I need to come back in here and get this polished or get this done. But I see it going a long, long time. And like I said, I've had people ask me about them, and I'm not afraid to tell them. I really not. I'm not. These are dental implants.
Well, that's what I love about you because it was your idea. It's like, hey, let's record as much as we can because I want to be able to share this with people. I want to capture the stuff that's not out there, and so.
Which is funny because your last client that was touring the building recognized me from the videos.
Like, you're Dave.
Yeah, he's all like, I know you. And I'm like, you know me? He's like, you're the video guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. It's like maybe that relaxed him a little more because I know I was scared when I first got here.
Yep.
I think the most scariest point was when the IV was getting set up. And I was gonna go
under.
Yeah. If you watch that video, because it's up online, you can definitely see him kind of drawn out, staring out the window, listening to him talk. And I think that's when it was kind of hitting me like, oh,
this is go time.
I'm going to wake up and this is not going to be good. And then I remember you waking me up. And then I remember all the cameras.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you're going to fall down. You're going to do this. I'm dancing down the hallway. And it was definitely an experience for sure. But I think that was the scariest moment, going to sleep and knowing that it's going to be. But then I'd say those days of swelling, sleeping in the chair, hardest point, no pain whatsoever, one Advil, a couple of Tylenols here and there.
Crazy, right?
It was. You hit that right on the mark.
Can you explain the hygiene process, the home care process at home? Because we have something, doesn't it scare him that he can't take them out to clean underneath?
Yeah.
So
That's scary that you can't take your teeth out.
Not really, because I invested in a water pit, boy. And I got one in the bathroom and in my shower. I love the shower one because then you don't have to spray your hair and wash your hair all the time. But
I think for the people that can remove their teeth, they would agree that they really don't want that. The fact that you can take your teeth out, that means that you have a device that's flopping around in your mouth. It takes a lot to, a snap indenture or a denture, anything that is removable is going to move. And when something moves, that means food can get under it. And so the fact that he can't take this out, but the cool thing is it's good because he doesn't have to have his cleanings done here with us. We want him to, we encourage our patients to, but he could go to any doctor here locally, or he could go to any doctor internationally because the system that we use it's across the board. It's the most common system. And so we don't put in like some off market weird system and we're going to provide him with all of the information so that he has that. Like, I never want people to come back to me because they feel like they have to. I want them to come back because they truly think that we do the best with cleanings. The advantage to coming back to us for the cleanings is that we started the process, like we have all the pictures and we can compare them, from time to time. And we also know you, we can be like, hey, Dave, kick you in the butt. Like, you got to clean right there, man. Yeah. And so that's really nice too. But as far as the overview of what the maintenance is, we want to see you back, or you want to be seen twice a year, minimally for the first year. And what we're doing when we do that, it's not just a hygiene visit, it's a maintenance visit. What are we doing? It's like when you go in for maintenance on your car. Yes, they're going to, change the oil and all everything. But so with us, we're going to clean, and doing a great job cleaning, we may not have to take the screws out and the device out, which is good because then we can decrease the cost of how many screws we are going to use over the life of your device. And so, but we are going to check every screw. So even though we don't take the device off, we are checking every screw to make sure it is tight. Why? Because if you're grinding, because now these teeth are a lot sharper, you're going to be doing some damage out there. You're going to be eating and chewing things that you love. nuts, bolts, just kidding. But I mean, at the end of the day, we want to check the screws to see if there's one area that maybe transferring some vibration that cause it loose. Not a big deal if it is, but we wanted to adjust it. So it's like, if you take your car in for maintenance regularly, there's no big surprises. Same thing with this. Like I've rarely seen, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone that goes every 6 months and comes back and has like a big, huge problem. It's usually they've gone a year and a half, a couple of years, and now it's like, hey, this is loose and this is loose. We have broken screws, meaning not implants, broken screws, and that becomes an issue. So maintenance is looking at your bone, looking at your tissue, it's looking at the screws, it's looking at your facial support, it's looking at your bite, and we're looking at that and giving you kind of a score of like how you're doing. So you should be asking when you come, it's not about just getting your teeth clean. It's like, I want my scores. Give me my grades. Like, I want to know how am I doing, because you should be as invested in this as I am. Like, again, it was a relationship, right? Like, I can't win without you, and you can't really win without us, because we're gonna continue to give you a perspective that you can't see. When we look in the mouth, we can see what you can't, meaning we can see what the tissue looks like. So, was that answer the question? Okay.
Well, that I'd say don't wait until you have a problem either. If you have some kind of concern, make sure you reach out, because I broke mine temporaries a couple of times, and it's not fun to have loose implants or screws in your mouth. Reach out, have communication with him or whoever you're seeing. Don't wait till the last minute or wait till you have that problem. If something feels different, speak up.
Don't be a man. Don't wait until there's a big problem. Like, deal with it before it happens, right?
Exactly.
Because that's so easy to do that. So
communication.
Yep.
I mean, we've had good communication with everyone. I mean, everybody here that knows something.
And that video, I mean, I just, put out there this last weekend was all about, that was the biggest thing. I spent like 10 minutes talking about. If we fail as dentists, it's always because it's not clear communication. Like, that's what stresses me the most, is making sure our patients know how to be successful. They know what to expect, managing expectations. Those are things that just, if you don't do this often, it's so easy to get lost and patients upset. And so, and we haven't always been perfect at that. We're always trying to improve. I'm always improving. I'm always coming with better ideas, more videos, more written stuff, because that's how I want to be successful. But more checklists, right?
Yeah.
But I want to recognize, before we shut down here, I always want to recognize my team, the man behind right here, Harrison. Great job on those finals. I did put some pressure on him. I'm like, I was texting him Sunday night when we got your message. Hey, I said, let's move this quick. But what did I say? Don't rush it.
That's another thing.
I was so worried. I'm like, we want to move quick, but don't rush, because Dave is really critical. It has to be perfect. And so, and he did a great job.
Yep.
And then Felipe, thank you, man. You're awesome. I appreciate it. And the rest of my staff here, Valentina, Christina, Mom, all the unsung heroes that go in the background, but it's a whole team effort. So any other questions, brother?
No.
Okay. So we'll do a follow-up in maybe 2 weeks or even 6 months, maybe both. And just, people want to hear the story of how it's going. So.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay. Good.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. You can shut her down. All right, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.